right, what's up, everybody? On YouTube and probably on social media. We'll just call it social media. I am, I am out and about, getting ready for a couple tours this week. Thought I'd take you along for the ride. Let's see if I got this camera set up right. Looks like it's blinking. Hopefully it's not actually blinking. This one's weird. Let's see. What do we got here? Can we shoot it right out the window? Oh, there it is. That's the front window. That's the side window. We'll got the front. Right. Figured, man, it is gorgeous today here in Anchorage, Alaska. We're looking at 24 degrees on November 23rd. And it's sunny. Right now we're looking at sunrise about 10 a.m., so it's ridiculous. I sleep a lot. I'm not going to lie to y'all. My sleep schedule gets to be kind of a hot mess in the winter. Tours slow down. I work at home. I'm working on my marketing, web design, and all my software and setup for next season. Recently bought this new van. This is 11-passenger Mercedes Sprinter, and it's got studs, tires. We have two sets of tires here. So in the summer we have our summer tires. In the winter we have winter tires. The studs are indispensable in my opinion. And I've got them on both my cars. Well, actually, we're waiting on a couple of them to show up for my son's car. They didn't have them in stock, so he's out on two studs, which I don't like, and two all-weather tires. And when you come here, if you visit and you get a rental car from the normal rental car places, in my experience, unless they've changed it, which I doubt they have, they just do all-weather tires. And when we first came here, it was over Christmas break years ago now, and they gave us a rental with all-weather tires, and we slid. You know, you're going to slide here, even on studs, you're going to slide a little bit. Driving in Alaska is you have to be very cautious. It's not that bad if you have the right tires, but you can't be overly confident. A few miles per hour on the highways makes a big difference, and the physics change very quickly. I always try to err on the side of caution and go a little bit slower than everybody else. Seems to be the trick. I see a lot of 4x4s in the snowdrift, and I just feel like a lot of times the Alaskans, this is just anecdotal, but I feel like sometimes people are here for a long time, they have the right vehicle, and they think they can handle more than they should, and they end up sliding. Because it's Alaska, and I'm originally, from Texas and Florida, so I really try to stay on the side of caution, being cautious. You can see it's absolutely beautiful in the winter. People are always like, hey, how are the winters? And it's not always like this. A lot of times we have overcast, we have snow, obviously. But when it's sunny out and it's winter, it's just as beautiful as the summers when everybody comes here. Only thing is, you only get 4 to 5 hours of light in the winter. So it's a trade-off. And it is, like I said, 20 degrees Fahrenheit out. So, but that's not bad. I mean, 20, even though I've already seen, I think, down to negative 14 when I went to Fairbanks. And Fairbanks can hit negative 60. I've even heard of like negative 80, I think. But it definitely can get down very cold in Fairbanks. But generally, and this is a cliche, but it's true, and it's something I'm learning to really try to prepare and that's a dress for it, and it's not that bad. I got a shaved head, I'm bald, whatever you want to call it, and I wear gloves, and then that way it doesn't suck, it's not that bad. Now the changing light and the darkness, I mean, that has a direct effect on what they call seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, and I think it's hard not to sort of fall into a little bit of a hibernation zone when you're here in the winter. I go with it. I just sleep a lot and take care of my stuff that I need to and stay active, and I do supplement, but I do that anyways, but I supplement vitamin D and vitamin C and creatine and all of that. All that stuff I do for like fitness and general well-being anyways, but fiber, Metamucil, I do all the biohacking stuff I feel like is normal, I guess. Anyways, so today I'm out prepping for tomorrow. I'm going to Matanuska Glacier, have 4 people I'll be taking up there, booked via Viator, and then after that I have 3 Hawaiians coming in to see Alaska for like 4 days. So hopefully this weather will keep up. But the day before, tours, when in a slow season like the winter, I usually have time to make sure I can get everything prepped. That's just part of doing these things. I mean, as people hire guides like me, a lot of times you don't see the behind the scenes, and we got to fill up with diesel, and DEF is another additive that we have to put in our diesel vehicles, and have the car, there's constant washing and cleaning. And this being a new van, I haven't quite figured out the best way to clean the floors. They're like rubber floors. On a sunny day like today, you can't really see because they're black. So, but I like to have clean, almost showroom clean, vehicle when possible. But anyways, just driving through Anchorage here. We're headed, I guess this is north. Should be north. There's only 2 ways out of Anchorage, and that's to the north and to the south. And the way the roads go, it's more like northeast, I think. I don't know. The way Alaska sits, it's really hard for me to. It took a long time to get the directions right. In Florida, it's pretty easy. Everything's north, south, east, west. Here in Alaska, it's like the way the state is, it's all. Actually, this would be north to the left. Yeah, that's north. This would be east. But this is turns into the Glen Highway and goes out to Wasilla, Palmer, Matanuska. Hatcher's Pass is up this way. Talkeetna, that's all to the north. And then to the south is the Alaska Wildlife Conservation Center, plus our 2 cruise ports, which Whittier is about an hour away, and Seward is a little over 2 hours away, maybe 2.5. And all the cruise ships come in through there. And if you're coming in a cruise, if you're going to be taking a cruise over the summer, and you're looking for transportation to go from Seward or Whittier to Anchorage, or from Anchorage over back to Seward or Whittier, then you have the opportunity to hire a company. And there's a bunch of us that do it, and there's a bunch of ways to do it. This industry has been going on for quite a while now. I don't know when it started. I'll have to look that up, but it's at least 20 years, I think, the cruise ships have been operating out of here, and it's growing. Now we're going to be having the Oasis of the Sea coming in. That's a 5,000 passenger ship next year. So if you're one of these passengers, if you're a group If you're, say, I don't know, like 4 to 10 people, you might consider hiring a private company rather than using the cruise ship buses. And if you hire somebody like me, then we often tailor it so you can see all the stuff that you don't want to miss when you're here. So coming from Seward, you have the Sea Life Center. I also always recommend the Resurrection Coffee House, a really cool little coffee house in Seward. And then leaving, you can go to the Exit Glacier, do a hike there, beautiful hike. You're not going on the glacier. The only glacier you can really get on feasibly is the Matanuska Glacier. There are some hikes that you can do. If you take a helicopter tour, they'll land you on a glacier for a very short amount of time. I think that's because they're taking up the helicopter's time. So they usually give you, I think, don't quote me, but about 15 minutes on the glacier if you do a helicopter tour, which I hear is a drawback. Of course, helicopters are really cool. So if you want to go fly and do a helicopter tour, I'm not saying don't do it. I never have done it. I have flown in helicopters quite a lot and don't have a huge pressing desire to be in them anymore. I like them. I love helicopters. But their lack of wings kind of freak me out. But we won't go into that. But if you want to hike on the glacier, the main one to hike on is the Matanuska Glacier. Highly recommended. It is, I'll just be honest with you, it's best in the winter. A lot of people are like, why go to Alaska in the winter? Well, the Matanuska Glacier is, if I'm being honest, probably like 10 times better in the winter than it is in the summer. Everyone goes there in the summer. I don't think I'm going to give it any kind of big hit to the industry there, but the best time to see the Matanuska Glacier is in the winter months. Why? Because it all freezes over, which means it's not melting, to state the obvious. And that means it's accessible. A lot more of it is accessible. Plus it becomes probably 10 times safer in the winter, in my experience. I tend to, again, err on the side of caution, and I love it in the winter. It's colder, yes, so you got to dress for that, but that's all. And then this year it's phenomenal. I've been going out there for several years now, and this year it's the best I've seen. It's got these crevasses and kind of glacier caves that are absolutely stunning. The glacier's always changing. You know, it seems like every time I go out there, there's something different. I barely recognize it from one trip to the next. You know, sometimes I'll be out there twice a week. Like this week, I'll be out there twice. And sometimes I'm out there like twice a month. You know, it just kind of depends on what people book and what they want to do. See, somehow at the intersections, it always gets a little slippery, which is a really bad place to have the ice form. But the ice seems to form up at the intersections. I'm not sure why. There's got to be some logical reason for that. But I just slid just a little bit. But that's what you have to be sort of aware of in the winter, is just feeling what your vehicle's doing. If it slides a little bit, you just got to kind of clock that and realize that the temperature is such that the ice is slippery. Here I am at Mount View Car Wash. This is the only one that I know of that's big enough to get the whole van into. So, looks like somebody's in there. This is the one I always use, but there might be another one. Let's see. These look like they're the same size. 11 feet, 6 inches. Is there somebody in that one? I'm not sure.